Sí, amor. Yo, man, this is how we do it. Muy bien, muy bien. Muy bien, 2, 3, bien, baby.
Ven, vamos a acercarnos pa' ver cómo es. Esto de rozarnos piel con piel. Hoy quiero que te sientas mi mujer, una y otra vez. Tu piel es dulce como la miel, y sabes que él no la merece. Hoy tengo que hacerte mi mujer, y lo sé muy bien.
Tú lo sabes también, y ahora lo puedes ver. No quiero molestar, solo quiero hacerse bien.
Bailemos hasta que salga el sol, que tu beso corte mi respiración. Revolquémonos en mi habitación y luego nos coronamos haciendo el amor.
Baby, te enseño a bailar lento, muy lento, toda la noche, y de esto no me arrepiento. Si él quiere algo, estaré para el intento. Tú eres mía hasta mañana, lo siento. Ven, vamos a acercarnos pa' ver cómo es esto de rozarnos piel con piel. Hoy quiero que te sientas mi mujer, una y otra vez. Tu piel es dulce como la miel, y sabes que él no la merece. Hoy tengo que hacerte mi mujer, y lo sé muy bien.
Ven, vamos a acercarnos pa' ver cómo es esto de rozarnos piel con piel. Hoy quiero que te sientas mi mujer, una y otra vez. Tu piel es dulce como la miel, y sabes que él no la merece. Hoy tengo que hacerte mi mujer, y lo sé muy bien.
Lo sé muy bien, bebé. Real man, esto es para ti, él no te merece. Hoy hacemos el pacto, vete, vamos a hacer un contrato donde solo figure buen trato. Es puro sentimiento, con todo lo que digo no miento.
The views, opinions, and representations expressed on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network and its website are those of the hosts, guests, and participants, and are not necessarily those of or endorsed by the network, its affiliated stations and broadcasts, the management, other hosts, or advertisers of the network. The shows found on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network can, but do not necessarily, promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only, and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or condition, or give any medical or legal advice.
You're listening to my friend Gary Anderson on Night Dreams Talk Radio, the best in paranormal radio.
Well, I hope everybody's had a great weekend. Here we are, April Fool. First, who had some jokes played on them today? I know I did. I looked for my shoes this morning. My wife decided to hide one of them under the mattress. I don't know how long I was looking for my shoe. Oh, what can I say? I forgot today was April Fool's Day. Tonight, my friend Ron Fitzgerald is going to be on talking about his new movie, The Devil Frame. Yeah, I seen a little trailer of it. It seems so exciting. Anyway, Ron will be on right after actually this.
Please check out the Night Dreams Talk Radio website at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. Also, if you want to keep our show free of advertising, just hit the donate button. Give a buck or two. Remember, all prior shows are always free to listen to. We at Night Dreams Talk Radio thank you for your support. You are listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio Network, from our compound to you worldwide, with your host, Gary Anderson.
Well, that is me. Tonight, wow, get ready to, get a nice cup of jabba, get yourself a nice comfy chair, curl up next to the fire, because tonight, it's going to be a little scary at times. We got a great guest tonight, Ron Fitzgerald. He is a master magician in the Dark Realm and a major actor in horror movies. Hey, Ron, how you doing, my friend?
Gary, all good. Very, very good. Good to be with you here on April Fool's Day.
Oh, yeah. Perfect timing. You know, I forgot today was April Fool's Day. But I'll tell you, I spent a long time trying to find my one shoe this morning.
I take it you found it, or were we in the studio tonight?
Oh, I found it. You know, she went to work. She goes to work at 5 o'clock in the morning. I get out of the bed. I'll be honest. I sleep into about 9. And I was looking for my shoe for about a half an hour. And then finally she, I call her and I said, have you seen my shoe? And she goes, didn't you read your emails? She hid it under the mattress.
Nice. And then she emailed that to you? That was under the mattress?
Yeah, she did it about 6 o'clock in the morning. But, why would I go look at the emails that early in the morning to figure out where my freaking shoe was?
Yeah, I don't think that's where I'd be looking for shoe clues at.
Well, I got a whole bunch of shoes, but, these are my favorite shoes. They're a pair of Nikes. They're 6 years old, but, I put them on and they feel like I'm not wearing anything. Pretty much that's the way they look, too.
Is there not much left of them?
Not much left to them. But I
like my boots.
I'm trying to get 8 years out of them.
Oh, there you go. I think you'll be fine. Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, yeah.
I have shoes for that long. Yeah.
Well, you have your friend, Rob, on the line. Rob, are you there?
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Well, why don't you tell the listeners who you are and what you do? And not the bad stuff. We don't want any sticky fun on the show.
Stuff. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. My name is Rob Sepulveda. I am the director of a new horror occult film called The Double Frame. And Ron Fitzgerald is the star of the film. And the film also features August Lissy and Vincent Bellantio and Kat Blackburn and Angel Rosario Jr., along with a cast of some wonderful people. We just did a little cast and crew preview party here in Chicago. The film was shot in Chicago. And now we're ready to go ahead and start getting it out there and putting it out into film festivals and starting our little rollout so we can get it to a wider audience.
Well, Rob, what's actually involved in making these type of movies? I mean, I would think it would be so much prep and all this stuff. I mean, and I just seen the trailer, and it's just enough really to get your hair to stand up, and you kind of wonder what's next. What's this movie going to be all about?
that creeping feeling of dread. Yes, we're hoping that we translated that in the trailer. So what the film is about is it's what I call a fun, basic, midnight movie occult film, and it's basically about a guy that, an artist who is driven by his ego to create great work but destroy himself at the same time. And he does that by really indulging in all of his vices and making every wrong decision he could possibly make every time he gets a chance to make a right decision in the film. And it's about the ego kind of pushing him through his black magic work, his chaos magic work, starting from a point where he knew nothing about it to a point where he was creating, manifesting changes in his life and better artwork during the film. It also destroys him at the same time. So he ends up manifesting great work, but destroys creating that what will destroy the best of himself in the end, and creating lots of problems for the people around him as well. And when we started the project, we just kind of knew that we were going to do the art design, the paintings, all the symbols that we wanted to use, the colors and the sets. We kind of planned that for about maybe 6 months, and I talked about it with Ron for about 6 months before we started principal photography on the film. And we worked out what we wanted to do step by step as far as some of the surrealist images. You can tell in the trailer that we have a snake. We have a talking snake. We have these surrealist images that come out. It looks a little neon at times. There's lots of great trance tribal music in the background that's playing. I think it has a killer soundtrack. I'm really happy with it. So it was a lot of planning before we shot anything. Easily 6 months of planning before we shot anything.
Wow, that's a lot of time. You know, a lot of people think on indie films, they just basically go out, and I hate to say it, rent a camera, make the movie, and they're done with it. But I mean, nowadays, you know, technology has advanced so far with the cameras. You know, they're not like $100,000 cameras or more anymore that you can actually make a movie on. And which is interesting because it cuts the budget down of making the movie. You don't have that cost of the rental or the purchase or what have you. But I mean, people don't realize, even in indie movies, there's a lot of work you got to, you know, plan out and do.
Yes, and with Ron, when I first approached Ron about this script, I think that I brought him on early, and I said, I think you know, we'd worked before, so when I wrote the script, I always had him in mind for this character. And we approached him about 6 months before we shot anything. He really started to work out how we're going to do this, how we're going to film it, working around everybody's schedules, the locations that we needed. I will say that working in Chicago, as a Chicago filmmaker, I find it pretty easy to really use the city as much as we possibly can as a great production background. And I stress that wherever you are, independent filmmakers, I understand grabbing a camera and just going for it. And one of the easiest shots you can possibly get is an exterior. So that adds production value.
Yeah, exactly.
Go out and get an exterior. I mean, Ron and I talked about this several times. Like, let's go out and just shoot the city. We are filming where we are. So and this is, you know, happening right now. You know, the story is unfolding in this little neighborhood that we created. So let's shoot the city. And I think we kind of have that benefit in Chicago where we have a great city to shoot. There's very interesting areas, so it just takes a little bit of extra work and effort to go out and shoot around and get some great exteriors.
Oh, yeah.
No, and you did. Rob got some beautiful shots of Chicago in there that are used, you know, for locations and even as transition pieces in the film. And I mean, you really, you know, you captured it beautifully. It really looked great. You know, we got to see our first screening of the film with everything in place and all finished last Thursday at the Davis Theater in Chicago as well. And we get to see all those shots. And where do you see the rest of it, Gary? I mean, it's really, because you don't get to see that much of it in that trailer. It's pretty short. But when you get to see the whole film, it's really, you know, the cinematography is really excellent in it.
Out of curiosity, Rob, what type of cameras were you using for doing the movie?
Oh, we used Canons and all Canon Cinema Primes.
You know,
so we used really, really fast glass because it was dark. Yeah. So we had everything wide open.
You know, what's really interesting, I have had some movie producers on the show and directors, you know, that, you know, have made, you know, we're talking millions of dollar movies, which still is probably indie movie nowadays yet anyway. But, you know, they were using stuff like the, you know, the Panasonic the cameras that I guess that you could go buy, you know, for around $2,500 because they can do the cinema quality, you know, capturing nowadays.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we're always looking for affordable cameras we can bring into production and ones that we can work with well in the conditions that we need. I mean, I come from being a DP, so one of the first conversations we have is how are we going to shoot this? What cameras do we need? And what are the conditions that are going to be? And any kind of factor, is this really kind of low light? Is it really, do we need it kind of flat? Are we going to be using Blackmagic cameras? Are we going to be using Canons? Are we going to be using Panasonics? What lenses do we want? What focal length? I love having those discussions before we do anything going and having, I really think pre-production is really important. And Ron, I think we brought you in on pre-production pretty early, didn't we? As far as shooting like some camera tests, right? Like color tests and stuff we wanted to do. Just to see how it would work.
Yeah, we did, and I really liked it. It's fun to be involved the whole way, because Rob and I worked together on a couple of other projects. We did a short film, which you can actually see on YouTube, called Year of the Ox, which is our proof of concept for another film that we were going to do, and before this one. And then we worked together along with Vincent Bellagio, we all worked together on Dark Realm, my movie as well.
Yeah.
And then, and then, and